Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. I'm Princess Abiba Saripaudak from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. The government assures both the quality and supply of the rice for the program that will give Filipinos the option to purchase staple grain for as low as 20 pesos a kilo. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. leads the Alianza campaign rally in Quezon Province. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, conducts a final test on automated counting machines, or ACMs, to make sure they are all in good working condition for the upcoming midterm polls. On top of the news, the palace has assured the public of the continued supply and quality of the 20 pesos per kilo rice program. According to the palace, actual buyers of the rice themselves have attested to its good quality, contrary to claims made by critics who earlier questioned the feasibility and consistency of the initiative. The palace also refuted allegations of the supply shortage in some areas, clarifying that the delay in rollout was due to pending exemption approvals from the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, given the ongoing election period. Palace also reiterated that the government is capable of sustaining the program until December this year and revealed that discussions are already underway to include funding for the program in the proposed national budget for 2026.
Na napakarami pong nag-avail, marami pong pumila, marami pong nakinabang sa mga kababayan natin sa Cebu at nakabili po ng bigas na 20 pesos po kada kilo. Supposed to be kasi ang launching po sa Visayas Avenue ay ngayon. So since kung hindi pa po ito pinayagan ng COMELEC, hindi po siya magro-roll out doon.
Meanwhile, the palace denied Vice President Sara Duterte's claim that the investigation into Prime Water is political, saying it is meant to address public complaints. Prime Water, owned by the Villar family, is linked to senatorial candidate Representative Camille Villar, whom Duterte previously endorsed. The palace and the Alianza party stressed that the probe is about public service, not politics, and trust Villar supports transparency and accountability.
Ang Prime Water, ano man naging transaksyon nito, dahil umiiyak ang karamihan, dapat po talagang maimbestigahan. So wala pong pamumulitika ito. Hindi po lahat ng ginagawa ng administrasyon para sa taong bayan ay pulos or pamumulitika. Kailangan pong trabahuhin, obligasyon po ng gobyerno at ng Pangulo na tugunan ang lahat ng hinaing ng taong bayan.
Good news for SSS members because President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced that starting July, the interest rates for the Social Security System, or SSS salary and calamity loans, will be reduced. PTV's Kenneth Paciente has the details.
Because his income was not enough, Raymond had to apply for a loan from the SSS under the salary loan program. But paying it back became a challenge for him because of its 10% interest rate.
Medyo kahit papaano, medyo nabawasan ng konti yung dapat mapaamin na, no? Nabawasan ng konti para may dagdag doon sa interest na yon.
That's why, to ease the burden of individuals like Raymond and other SSS members, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. himself announced that starting July, the interest rate for salary loans will be lowered to 8% and to 7% for calamity loans, both previously at 10%.
Sa ngayon, nakikipag-ugnayan na rin ang SSS sa ilang financial institution upang pag-aralan ang pagkakaroon ng microcredit loan facility. Layunin naman ito na matugunan ang agarang pinansyal na pangangailangan ng kanilang mga miyembro. Ang mga programa ito ng SSS ay hindi lamang para sa mga manggagawang narito sa Pilipinas, kundi ang mga miyembrong nasa ibang bansa.
The palace emphasized that this move by the government is meant to alleviate, even in small ways, the burdens experienced by SSS members.
Ang nais po kasi ng Pangulo, sa programang ito ay magkaroon po talaga ng poverty reduction. Kapag ka po nalaman natin na yung interest po ay bababa para sa mga kababayan natin na may kasalukuyang utang sa SSS, maganda pong balita yan. Para po kahit po yung kanilang kinikita o yung kanilang konting savings para maibayad, ay mababawasan yung kanilang pagbabayad sa kanilang mga utang dahil liliit po ang interest. So, yun po yung nais ng ating Pangulo.
Para kahit paano, kakatulong din sa amin yun, na nababawasan yung kaltas sa amin.
Starting September, SSS will launch its expanded pension loan program for surviving spouse pensioners. Under this program, the surviving spouses of deceased pensioners can now borrow up to 150,000 pesos. Regarding the call for a wage increase, the palace has stated that this was addressed by the regional tripartite wages and productivity boards in each region, and that wage increases have already been implemented in some areas. And as the president said, this will be studied again for possible implementation next year. The palace also stressed that all stakeholders' positions must be heard regarding the legislators' push to have the wage hike bill certified as urgent by the president.
Lahat ng stakeholders dapat po makausap, malaman ano po yung maaaring magandang idulot, positibo, negatibo. So lahat po ng stakeholders kailangan kausapin kung kakayanin din po ba ng mga employers at kung ano yung nararapat sa mga manggagawa. So sa ngayon po ay dapat pag-usapan lahat-lahat po yan. Pero kung ano po yung makakaya ng Pangulo sa kanyang pag-uutos, katulad ng sinabi po natin, sa mamamagitan po ng DOLE, ibibigay po natin sa mamamayan. Hindi nga lang po siguro ganon kalaki katulad ng hinihingi ng iba mga kababayan natin. But at least po, gumagawa po ang Pangulo sa abot na makakaya na maibibigay para sa taong bayan at mga manggagawa.
From PTV Manila, Kenneth Pasyente, Balitang Pambansa.
With the campaign period nearing its close, the administration backed senatorial slate under the Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas coalition visited the vote-rich province of Quezon, home to approximately 1.5 million registered voters across 39 municipalities. PTV's Mela Las Moras has the report.
With only 10 days left before the 2025 midterm elections, the administration-backed Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas is now shifting gears to its all-out campaign mode to gain more and more support from the Filipino people. Earlier today, the Alianza senatorial candidates had its newest proclamation rally in one of the country's most vote-rich provinces, Quezon, headlined by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. himself. During his speech, the chief executive emphasized that a brighter future awaits the country if the Alianza candidates win in the elections. He highlighted the broad experience and significant contributions to the country of their senatorial bets, including Makati City Mayor Abby Binay, former DILG Secretary Ben-Hur Abalos, Representative Erwin Tulfo, Senators Francis Tolentino, Bong Revilla, Pia Cayetano, and Lito Lapid, and former Senators Manny Pacquiao, Tito Soto, and Panfilo Lacson. Also part of the coalition is Representative Camille Villar, although she was unable to attend today. Earlier, she went to Dagupan, Pangasinan to join the Bangus Festival.
Ito po ang nagtutuloy ng mga tagumpay, ng mga magagandang inisyatibo para sa ating bansa upang pagandahin ang buhay ng bawat Pilipino, upang pagandahin ang ating minamahal na Pilipinas.
President Marcos also reported about the country's progress when it comes to our economy, agriculture, transportation, and other sectors. He said, we all need to have a new set of leaders who will continue what they have started to achieve a brighter future.
Nitong nakaraang taon, naitala natin ang pinakamababa na unemployment rate dito sa Pilipinas mula nung taon 2005. 20 taon na po. Hindi po natin naabot yung ganyang klaseng unemployment rate. Basta't nandyan po sila, maaasahan ninyo na ipagpapatuloy nila itong magandang performance na ating ginagawa.
Tomorrow, Saturday, the Alianza senatorial bets will next visit the province of Batangas for their next campaign rally with the president. From PTV, Mela Las Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
The Department of Agriculture or DA has started implementing the 20 peso rice program at Kadiwa ng Pangulo's sites, this time in the Eastern Police District, the fourth location established by the agency within Philippine National Police or PNP district stations. PTV's Jay Impeneda has the details.
Lenny is a regular buyer of rice priced at 50 pesos per kilo at the market. But with the impending availability of the 20 pesos rice soon, she is sure that she will switch to it to save money.
Napakalaking tulong ng 20.
Bakit?
Kasi ganito, di 2 kilo na yun. Kain namin ng isang araw. Magiging 2 araw na, di ba? Lalo pa ako, single parent, 2 pa yung college ko.
Lenny is just one of many residents of Mandaluyong City waiting for the 20 pesos per kilo rice to be made available to the public. Some of them are already excited to buy and line up for this more affordable option. A Kadiwa store at the Mandaluyong Public Market is one of the outlets here in Metro Manila which will sell 20 pesos per kilo rice. For now though, the Commission on Election or COMELEC has ordered to temporarily halt the sale of this cheaper rice in line with the upcoming Hatol ng Bayan 2025.
Para po din and of course yung sinabi nga po ni Chairman Garcia na sana kung pwedeng maiwasan muna na magkaroon po tayo ng bentahan at malagyan po ng kulay politika bago mag-eleksyon. So sabi na pinag-uusapan naman po tayo na kung pwedeng wag munang magbenta at after elections na lang po. Naisip naman din po namin sa DA na 10 araw na lang po naman ito.
In the meantime, Kadiwa stores will still sell the Department of Agriculture's previously promoted rice at 29 pesos per kilo, aside from its Rice for All program priced at 35 pesos per kilo. According to vendors, they have been receiving 40 sacks since the 29 peso rice program began. This usually lasts just 1 to 2 weeks and sells out quickly, which is the reason why they expect the 20 peso rice to be even more popular among buyers. Meanwhile, the Kadiwa ng Pangulo was also launched today at the Eastern Police District or APD, which is already the 4th location established by the DA in PNP District Station. The initiative is said to reflect stronger collaboration between agencies.
So ito po ay isang parang pagpapatunay na tayo po ay talagang nagtutulungan para po mas padating natin at magkaroon po tayo ng mas madaming access pa at availability ng venues kung saan natin pwedeng malagay po yung Kadiwa ng Pangulo dahil nga po hindi lang mura bilihin dito, mas direkta pong nakakatulong tayo sa ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda.
This initiative is seen to be beneficial to police officers who frequently do the shopping.
Kita nyo naman, mga 5 minutes pa lang ubos na ng EPD yung... But seriously, we are in full support of this program dahil hindi na kailangan magsiksikan ng police natin doon sa mga wet market, di ba?
The PNP also affirms continuous support for the initiative of DA to help consumers and workers in the provinces, such as farmers and fishermen. From PTV Manila, JM Pineda, Balitang Pambansa.
The Philippines improved BBB credit rating from Fitch signals strong economic reforms in the country's ability to pay its debts on time. This rating is expected to attract more investors, create more jobs, and allow the government to borrow money at lower interest rates. It also shows the country's solid economic performance and stability compared to its ASEAN neighbors. Malacanang praised the rating as proof that the Philippines remains a trustworthy and promising investment destination. With barely a week and a half before Decision Day, the automated counting machines to be used by the voters went through rigorous testing beginning today and up to Wednesday next week to evaluate their worthiness and functionality for when game day comes. Should there be problems, backup machines are ready and good to go at a moment's notice, as well as a repair hub to fix problematic machines if need be. Each machine will go or undergo initialization to ensure zero or nothing has been recorded in the machine, as we hear more from our Rodrigo Lagusay.
To ensure the automated counting machines, or ACMs, are in proper working condition, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, began the final testing and sealing process today, May 2, which will run until May 7. One of the testing locations is Pateros Elementary School, where they also check if all election materials are complete and ready for use. COMELEC Chair George Erwin Garcia explained that this process allows enough time to address any issues, particularly those that might arise in the initialization report.
Zero initialization. Ang ibig sabihin po noon, at napaka-importante yon, makikita nyo mamaya magpiprint siya, zero ang laman niya sa lahat ng positions, magmula sa senador hanggang sa konsihal. Ayan, magkakaroon ng initialization report na tinatawag, ibig sabihin wala siyang laman.
He also noted that the ACMs are user-friendly and feature touchscreen technology. Officials are also verifying whether the ballots sent to each area are correct and match their respective precincts.
Ang purpose namin dito ay kung ano yung kulang, kung anong dapat palitan, kung mismong buong makina ay dapat palitan o yung mismong SD card ay dapat palitan, yan po ay gagawin ng komisyon. Kaya nga po in-insist namin sa lahat ng local COMELEC namin sa buong Pilipinas na ang final testing and sealing ay hanggang 7 lamang.
Aside from the repair hub, there are also backup machines in case any ACM malfunctions. They are also checking whether votes are correctly stored in the USB drives. A representative from the European Union Election Observer Mission was also present during the process. Another key part of final testing and sealing is ensuring that members of the Electoral Board are familiar with how to operate the ACM. This is to make sure they are fully prepared and follow the proper process on Election Day.
Okay naman po, madali naman po dahil unang-una po, nagkaroon po kami ng training, tapos po nagkaroon po kami ng refresher course para po, bago po namin gawin tong initialization, final testing. So, yun po, para alam po namin kung ano po ang gagawin naming mga guro.
According to Garcia, no electoral board member would allow their ACM to have any issues, especially since this could become their problem on Election Day. On Election Day itself, before polling precincts open, another round of initialization will be conducted. COMELEC urges the public to vote on May 12, saying it's everyone's opportunity to help choose the right leaders. For Rod Lagusad, Denise Osorio for the National Television Network for a new and better Philippines.
The OFW Hospital in San Fernando, Pampanga celebrated its third foundation anniversary. As of the first quarter of 2025, the beneficiaries or patients accommodated in the hospital increased to 40%. This is the only hospital in the world that is allotted for overseas workers. All healthcare services in the OFW hospitals are free. This can be used by all OFWs or their families across the country. As of now, the cancer care building is still under construction, but it is expected to operate starting in 2026. Meanwhile, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has reported that the ongoing campaign period for the 2025 midterm polls remains generally peaceful. According to the poll body, both local and national campaign activities have so far been conducted in an orderly manner with minimal disruptions or incidents. COMELEC added that compared to 2019 and 2022 elections, the country has recorded fewer election-related violence cases this year, with incidents still below the 100 mark as of the latest data. The National Food Authority, or NFA, is preparing to sell 20 peso per kilo rice at selected Kadiwa ng Pangulo sites in Metro Manila, possibly starting May 13. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, is using the time to improve logistics and add staff. 8 sites are ready, including locations in Quezon City, Manila, Marikina, Valenzuela, Las Piñas, and Navotas. The program aims to make affordable rice more accessible to the public. Meanwhile, the government agencies, academic institutions, startups, and the private sector showcase their innovative products and technologies in the Northern Mindanao Regional Innovation Program and Exhibit 2025. To know the products featured in the exhibit, Lou Antonio of Philippine Information Agency Iligan, Lanao del Norte will give us the details.
The Northern Mindanao Regional Innovation Program and Exhibit 2025 showcased a range of products and technologies that reflect the region's focus on economic growth, sustainability, and technological advancement. Exhibitors included government agencies, academic institutions, startups, and the private sector. Among the key exhibits were coconut tree climbing robot, dynamic gripper robot, and robotic arm cutter developed by a team of computer engineering students from St. Peter's College in Iligan City. The robot automates climbing, harvesting, and slicing coconuts, offering a safer and more efficient alternative to traditional manual methods. From the Philippine Information Agency, Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, Lu Antonio, for Balitang Pambansa.
After almost 3 decades, a 53-year-old mother in Tacloban City fulfills a lifelong dream to graduate from high school. The Department of Education's Alternative Learning System Senior High School program is providing opportunities for young and old alike who showed courage, resilience, and determination to never stop chasing dream and education. Alet Reyes of Philippine Information Agency, Leyte, has more.
At 53 years old, Rowena Taboso, a mother of 2 from Suhi Village in Tacloban City, dons her graduation gown for the first time and walks up the stage to finish a chapter in her unwritten life story. Rowena was among the hundreds of graduates this year under the Alternative Learning System Senior High School program of the Northern Tacloban City National High School. Graduating at 53, Rowena is the oldest in her class. Her husband and 2 children were among the crowd cheering her on as she graduated with high honors, together with an offer for a college scholarship. It took her 29 years before she decided to go back to school and finish her schooling.
Sa mga kabataan na huwag niyong sayangin ang pagkakataon, pahalagahan niyo ang edukasyon. Para sa katulad ko na may edad na, huwag kayong matakot. Huwag kayong matakot bumalik sa pag-aaral. Kung may mga pangarap kayo, pagpatuloy niyo. Masarap pag-aaral.
The ALS SHS, or Alternative Learning System Senior High School program of the Department of Education, offers a pathway for individuals to complete their senior high school education. The program allows those who did not complete regular senior high school to gain the necessary qualifications and skills for higher education, technical vocational education, and training or employment. For Rowena, growing up in a small village away from the bustling city, said she may not have been able to finish school and further pursue a college degree. However, she serves as a powerful reminder that education is not bound by age and that it's never too late to go back and finish an education.
From the Philippine Information Agency, Leyte, Alet Reyes, Balitang Pambansa.
For our weather update, more areas in the country will be experiencing hotter temperatures tomorrow, May 3, with a heat index reaching as high as 44 degrees Celsius. According to Pagasa, Aurora, Zambales, Cavite, and Quezon Province is expected to reach a 44 degrees Celsius heat index, while Manila, Pangasinan, Isabela, and Olongapo City may experience up to a 43 degrees Celsius heat index. A heat index of 42 degrees Celsius will be experienced in Metro Manila, Ilocos Norte, La Union, Cagayan, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Batangas, Quezon, Occidental Mindoro, and Palawan. Heat cramps and heat exhaustion are likely when the heat index reaches the danger level, followed by a heat stroke with continued exposure. And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again next week at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Abiba Saripaudak, and this is your Balitang Pambansa.